Hello YouTube, what's going on? Today I'm taking an in-depth review of a 2020 Porsche Cayenne. And here's what the key looks like. It's a very cool key, reminiscent of a car. Ignition off to the left. So here's the gear lever. So all the way down for drive, halfway up or down for neutral, all the way up for reverse. Press the P for park, and this is the parking brake. Drive select right here. So I'll explain each of these modes. 0 for normal, S for sport, S plus for Sport Plus, I for individual, and then press the black button in the middle for sport response. Lasts for 20 seconds each time you press the button. So some controls over to the left. We've got lock and unlock, 3-person memory. Set that with this button. All 4 windows are fully automatic. Headlight controls, so automatic is your default whenever you turn the ignition on. Parking lights, then if you hold that for 2 seconds it turns off all the exterior lighting. Headlights on, rear fog lights, and back to automatic mode. And if you engage automatic mode while the rear fog lights are on, the headlights stay on. Likewise, if you engage them without the headlights on. Also, if you engage the headlights manually, auto mode is disengaged. It's also got PDLS and PDLS Plus, so it's your high beam assist. You push the stock forward to activate it. If you switch the lights on manually, it's not possible to activate that. It's just a manual high beam setting. Put it back to auto, it re-enables the automatic high beams, so it remembers that you last had them on. And now the lights are completely turned off, including the daytime running lights. But one benefit is if you drive over 6 miles per hour and you forget to turn your lights back on, automatic mode re-engages, and then you're good to go. Paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. You can configure individual mode. So, for instance, you can turn start-stop off completely. You can also set the chassis to be normal, sport, or sport plus. So that's an alternate way to change the driving modes besides using the wheel here. Climate settings. So the climate control will not turn on unless the engine is running. However, you can access the climate just by touching that on the instrument panel right here. Suspension hardening. So, for instance, you could set the mode to sport. It automatically selects sport and then sport plus for your suspension. So, in tandem with changing the drive modes. But you can also have comfortable suspension in Sport Plus mode if you so desire. Traction off. And when you push and hold, that turns PSM off, which I believe is Porsche stability monitoring or mitigation. So if you just turn off traction control, then it changes it into PSM Sport. So you do still have the light, you do still have the red light here, but you have to push and hold to disable it completely. So there's some blank switches here. This says individual, e-power for if it was a hybrid. Climate controls, so you can also push and hold to adjust the temperature. You can also have it synchronized so that whenever you adjust the driver's side temperature, it also adjusts the passenger side temperature. Sunroof controls. So that's for the sun visor at the top. Emergency SOS, Parktronic, or parking sensors off. I just used the Mercedes terminology instead of the Porsche terminology. Garage door home link. So one-touch automatic. Interior lights. They are LEDs, as you would expect. Rear interior illumination and front interior illumination. This switch here is for the sunroof. So to crack it open, just pull back. Push forward in the opposite direction to close it. Pull back to open it completely. And push forward to close. This button is programmable. So for example, you can have it enable or disable auto start stop. So you can turn on and off the auto high beams. You can also adjust the time before the lights fade out after you switch off the vehicle at night. Off-road settings. So when you enable off-road mode, none of the lights are lit up on the drive select wheel, but as soon as you move the drive select wheel, it exits that mode. And then you can go between normal, sport, sport plus, individual, and sport response. So there's gravel, mud, sand, and rocks in terms of the off-road modes. Lap timer. Trip information. So if you push and hold the individual mode, that saves your current setting as your individual preferred settings. Door unlocking and locking as well. So Lock the doors while driving. That's self-explanatory. When you exceed 10 miles per hour, that will lock the vehicle's doors. So when you go home, you've got multiple displays. So that's your navigation, apps, assistance, sound, general settings. So some of these functions can also be accessed in the car settings hotkey. So in regards to apps, these are the default apps. So breakdown call, for example, it's your roadside assistance, weather, news, legal information, gas station search, online search, restaurants, parking, hotels. It's also got heated and ventilated seats. You can have them both on simultaneously. Also for the passenger side. Hazard lights. LED side turn signal mirrors. The standard engine is a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. Some safety information on the underside of the hood. So there's your ECU, ABS pump, coolant tank. Comes standard with the Pirelli Scorpion Verde All Season tires. Rear fog lights down below. Couple of other things I wanted to note about the headlight control panel over here is that if you exceed 6 miles per hour with the lights completely switched off, it goes back to auto, and if you exceed 20 miles per hour with the parking lights on, it goes back to auto. So those are the specific limits in terms of how fast you can drive without headlights on, which makes sense. So cruise control, that's to enable the system. So it's a little different. Cancel, resume. You can change the cruise control mode. So you pull back to reduce your speed and push forward to speed up. That button is to open up the rear tailgate, and the button to the other side of it closes it. And you have to hold it. You can also access your off-road settings with one of the hotkeys on the right. It's your volume rocker, back button. That's if you didn't want to touch the screen. Glove box storage is decent. And then this center storage area. It's really sturdy. So right here, got a little bit of storage, 2 USB ports, and some interior illumination. But yeah, that has a lot of resistance. So power outlet, 2 cup holders. And that's pretty much about all I have to show you. So hope you enjoyed this review. Special thanks to Porsche of Barrington, which is a Motorworks company. So if you enjoyed this review, smash the thumbs up in the face, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, do what you do best, and peace out till next time.